Hey, if you've been advertising on Facebook for any amount of time, you've probably accrued a bunch of different leads or even low ticket buyers that you've had just sitting there, and you're not really sure what to do with them. They've been through your entire sales process. They haven't booked a sales call, or maybe they have jumped on a sales call and they've said no to your higher ticket type of offer, and they're kind of just sitting there. And again, I talk to coaches on a daily basis, and they think of new email automations or SMS automations, or even having someone on their sales team begin dialing all these people. But are any of those things really effective? Not really. So I'm going to show you an easier, faster, more efficient way to start to engage and monetize those leads and even low ticket buyers that you've gotten through Facebook. Move them up into your higher ticket coaching program, so you can get a nice boost in terms of revenue, and you can insert that as part of your process going forward. So you never have this big pool of leads or buyers that you've paid money for, but they're kind of just sitting there in plain sight. So if this is the first time joining one of my lives, I'm Brian Czekanski, and I work with coaches in particular to 10x their high ticket sales. And the way I do that is without any type of sales calls whatsoever. And this is really the area that I focus on, is really focusing on those leads, and particularly those low ticket buyers. Kind of the cream of crop is like, if you've got low ticket buyers that have gone through your process, and you haven't really figured out how to engage with them. Again, they've gone through the typical window that you have in terms of, after going through your program, maybe 7 days or 30 days past your program, your sales team has kind of given up on them. But they're kind of sitting there. You've already built a relationship. They've already built up some trust. They're just not really engaged enough to jump on the call with your sales team, probably because they know they're going to be sold something that they're not sure that they want. So nobody's really excited about joining a sales call. So I've got a much different approach that makes it easier to kind of engage with people on an ongoing basis. So again, this is going to be something that you can insert in your process maybe once a month or on an ongoing basis, so that, again, as you're accruing some of those leads, as you're accruing those low ticket buyers as they go through your program, to make it really easy for you and your business to kind of monetize them to your higher ticket coaching program. Kind of think of it as like a bolt-on profit center altogether. So kind of let me walk you through. Just did it with a prospect just a few minutes ago. So walk you through a simple process of, again, like, one of the things that your prospects, those leads, those buyers, like, one of the things that's going to catch their attention is putting out an opportunity to get the outcome that they want the most. And that's what we're really going to do with kind of this broadcast email. So we're going to go out, send out an email to, again, that pool of leads or buyers that you have kind of just sitting there, profits waiting, like hiding in plain sight, I would call them. A lot of other people call them trash can assets, because, again, they're kind of sitting by the curb. There's value there, but you're not really sure how to monetize them. So we're going to send a broadcast email to those folks, kind of talking about how you've gotten away to, and we're not going to give them any details in terms of what the offer is or anything like that, because people don't buy coaching because they want coaching. They buy because of the outcome. So we're going to put the outcome and the new opportunity in front of them, and we're going to see who raises their hand. We're going to get them, those people that are interested are going to respond to that email. And that's when, somebody like me or somebody as part of your team, like whatever it is, this is what I do on a daily basis, engage with that person on a one-to-one sales conversation, all via email. So we're not jumping on the phone. We're not getting into a high pressure type of situation where at the end of 30 minutes or 60 minutes, they have to say yes or no. It can take as long as they need to kind of work through that whole sales process. And really, I'm following the same thing that you would do on a sales call. There's just not as much pressure to get there. So it allows me to kind of slow down and, number one, get to know their story a little bit better, use empathy, use some vulnerability, use all the tools that I have, some of the testimonials that you might have, to prove to that person that they're in the right place, that we can get them to the outcome that they want the most, and that your coaching is just kind of that delivery mechanism in terms of getting there. So once I get a better sense of, like, what is their story and, like, what's the real reason they want to get that outcome that they're looking for, that's when I can personalize that offer to, and really put your high ticket coaching in front of them and really echo back the language that they have already given me. The great part is, like, via email, I've already got the words and phrases. They've already typed them back to me. So it's really easy to kind of echo that back. Again, I can take my time. I can be really patient in terms of responding back and forth with people. This is not something that has to be rushed. because again, with the clients that I'm working with, feel really good about their offers. They're getting people transformational results. So like, again, as you talk with these leads and buyers, like we have high confidence we can get them those outcomes that they want. We've got the testimonials to back that up. So I have the ability to give them like, okay, like you told me this about your story. Here's a personalized testimonial of somebody just like you was talking about the same problems, has reached the outcome that you talked about. Here's exactly how it's dimensionalized in their own life. Like, here's how they're talking about it now. And here's all the great things that they talked about in terms of like this program being that mechanism or that delivery vehicle to get there on the other side. And again, that really warms up the conversation. That makes it really easy so that when I actually do put your offer in front of them, again, really bringing and echoing back a lot of the language that I got from them earlier in the conversation makes it really easy to get them to a yes. And if they do have some of those objections, if they do have a question or things like that, again, I don't have to rush through that conversation. I can take their questions or objections one by one and answer them as thoroughly. And again, if they have a follow-up to an objection that I handle, whether it's financial or things like that, I can take my time, make sure that they're 100% in terms of like joining the program. Like, so that's one of the things before I even put that shopping cart link in front of them. I want to make sure that they're all in. I want to make sure that they're motivated, that this is the right decision. I haven't rushed through the whole process. That it wasn't a high pressure type of sales call where it feels like somebody tricked me into buying. Like, the great part is like doing it via email, we can slow it down as much as possible so that when people go into your high ticket program, they have 150% confidence that they made the right decision because nobody was rushing to go back and forth. Again, for a lot of these, it's a really big investment. So they can go back to their spouse, they can go back to their business, they can go back to whoever they want to talk to, have that conversation, come back to their email and say, like, yeah, I had the conversation with my wife, my husband, feel really good about this investment. He had, these questions. Could you answer them for me? I answer them back. And again, if there's follow-up questions from there, I can handle those. Like, again, some of these conversations can go on for days. Other ones can take really short period of time to move them to that, checkout. Really just depends. But having the care and the ability to kind of personalize each of these sales conversations and not have that time pressure of, okay, I've got to jump to my next sales conversation. I've got to wrap this up and get you to a yes or no, like a typical salesperson would need to do. Here, I can really slow the process down, make sure they have full confidence. There's no questions or objections kind of hanging in the balance, make them feel really good about their purchase. And it makes a big difference, especially as they join that program. It's a different type of person that joins your program because they have full confidence. All their questions and doubts and all those things have been handled. So they're ready to take action. They're motivated to get that transformation altogether. And it leads to more testimonials for you as a coach. It leads to more people being engaged in the overall process. And the great part is, again, for those coaches that might be doing their own sales calls right now, I can take that off your plate. You can outsource that to me. And the great part is, like, as opposed to a lot of alternatives that are putting out big promises and asking you for a huge upfront investment, I have high confidence, and I prove this to the coaches and companies that I work for by asking for no upfront investment. So I only get paid on a rev share basis once that money hits your account. Once it hits your Stripe account, that's when I'll follow up with an invoice. So you see the actual money in the account, you see those successful sales coming through. And so it not only saves you a lot of time in terms of going through those sales conversations, I'm most likely gonna, especially if you're handling your own sales calls, I'm going to increase your sales conversion rate because this is something I do on a daily basis. But I'm also going to give you back time to focus on what you really want to do, which is coaching these people, getting that transformations that they're looking for, and moving them along in the process. So again, I'm going to give you more coaching clients, and you're gonna be able to spend more time with them and do more of the stuff that you love. You got more time with your family, whatever it is, the outcome that you're looking for. I'm going to be able to give that back. Generate higher conversion rates. And again, on the flip side, I'm going to deliver you high ticket coaching clients that don't have any doubts in their mind. They didn't rush through a sales conversation and still have that lingering question or objection kind of hanging in the balance. I've kind of thoroughly gone through that process, answered everything that they need to. They're 100% in. They're ready to get started, and they're ready to get to the transformation that they know that you can deliver. So think about that, especially if, again, even if you have a sales team. A lot of the clients that I work with have a sales team. I'm not going to step on the toes of anything that they're doing right now. Think of me as kind of that bolt-on profit center at the end of 7 days or 30 days, wherever in the process your sales team has kind of given up that on that lead or that buyer. That's the period where I want to engage with those people, have those one-to-one conversations, and get them back and monetized in your business. And again, save you a little bit more time, get you more motivated coaching clients, and hopefully generate more results, more testimonials as you go along. So, whatever platform you're watching this on, hit that like button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I'm talking about high ticket sales, what's working for me, and what's not working. Some of the learnings, especially in working with some of the coaches. So, happy to kind of share that multiple times a week around the same time. And with that, I'll catch you on a future live.